Guns N' Roses would shock the rock world with their seminal debut record, Appetite for Destruction, in 1987. While the album took almost a year to break big, it soon became one of the biggest selling rock records in history. The band followed it up with an EP in 1988 titled GN'R Lies that also sold a few million copies. As the world waited for the band's next full-length follow-up, they entered a pretty dark time full of substance abuse, infighting, a lineup change, as well as negative press coverage. However, despite all the obstacles, Guns N' Roses delivered in a major way, releasing their epic double album Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 in September of 1991, which was a juggernaut and helped make Guns N' Roses one of the biggest rock acts on the planet. One of the songs found on the album would be inspired by a near-fatal overdose that frontman Axl Rose would suffer, and in my humble opinion, it would result in one of the group's best songs. Stay tuned for the full story. In a one-on-one with Interview magazine in 1992, frontman Axl Rose discussed his love-hate relationship with songwriting, with it on one hand being cathartic, while at the same time difficult to experience past emotions. And throughout 1989 to 1991, in various interviews, the members of Guns N' Roses would drop clues in terms of what fans could expect on their next full-length follow-up. Following the group's Appetite for Destruction tour in 1988, Guns N' Roses retreated back to Los Angeles. Unlike the time prior to Appetite for Destruction, the band members now had money, and without the distraction of touring or being in the studio, all the members except Rose went down the rabbit hole of addiction. It was during this time that guitarist Slash and Izzy Stradlin rented a house in the Hollywood Hills, and it was that house where Slash wrote several songs including today's topic Coma and the track Locomotive. Slash would reveal to Guitar magazine that Coma was written on acoustic guitar, and it was originally intended to be called Girth, taking its name from a friend and collaborator of the group, Wes Arkeen, who Duff McKagan claimed to writer Mick Wall had a girthy genital. In a separate interview with Music Radar, Slash would reveal, "I wrote Coma in my heroin delirium. That's a song that I'm still proud of. That's not a lot of technique. It's a pretty straight up kind of Slash approach. But the thing that's really interesting was the vamp out, which was this circular rotating chord progression that never ended. The same chord progression every time, but it just kept changing key. That was my mathematical musical discovery. I just stumbled on it, and it's very much me doing my thing, but it worked," he'd say. Fans would first hear about Coma when Rose gave an interview to MTV's Kurt Loder in 1990 on the program Famous Last Words. This interview happened almost a year before the Use Your Illusion albums dropped, and here's a clip of Rose talking about the song.
But you had mentioned there's something on a song on this album that's coming up that might cause some problems, you think? Is there anything you can
There's a song called Coma that is like 11 minutes and 45 seconds long with no chorus. Okay, and I think there was only one verse that somewhat repeats itself. It's Slash's baby. It's his monster. The song used to be called Girth. But I started writing about when I OD'd 4 years ago, and the reason I OD'd was because of stress. I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed this bottle of pills in an argument and just gulped them down. Yeah. And I ended up in the hospital. But I liked that I wasn't in the fight anymore. And I was fully conscious that I was leaving.
Yeah.
I liked that. But then I go, all of a sudden my first real thoughts though were that, okay, you haven't toured enough, the record's not going to last, it's going to be forgotten, and this and that, you have work to do, get out of this. And I went, no, and I woke up, you know, and pulled myself out of it. But in the describing of that, some people could take it wrong and think this means go put yourself into a coma, you know, and so it's really tricky, and I'm still playing with the words to figure out how to show some hope in there.
Yeah.
At the time of that interview, Rose would indicate he hadn't finished writing the lyrics, but in a separate interview after the double album came out, he would reveal, "I tried to write that song for a year and couldn't. I went to write it at the studio and passed out. I woke up 2 hours later and sat down and wrote the whole end of the song, just off the top of my head. I think one of the best things I've ever written was maybe the end segment of the song Coma. It just poured out," he'd remember. Coma would be found on Use Your Illusion 1 and would be the longest song on the double album, clocking in just under 11 minutes in length. The song wasn't played live a whole lot on the Use Your Illusion tour since it was difficult for Rose to sing live. It was also difficult for the group's rhythm guitarists, including Gilby Clarke and Izzy Stradlin, to remember. Izzy Stradlin would tell the Vox in 1991 that he had to have a special chord chart made for him during live gigs since he couldn't remember all the changes in the song. The exact writing of the song has been debated amongst Rose and Slash. While both are credited with writing the track, Slash has stated in numerous interviews he wrote all the music and brought the finished track to the band. Rose would reveal though in a 2008 interview on a fan message board, yes, Slash was in Guns and on Jungle, and the whole I came to him for his riff is as much crap as him saying he brought Locomotive and Coma in as complete songs. Drummer Matt Sorum, who played on the song, would reveal to a fan on Twitter the track was originally recorded in one take with no computers, and he would briefly touch upon the song in his new book Double Talk and Jive. He would reveal how the band originally rehearsed 36 songs for the Use Your Illusion records, and the plan wasn't to release a double album, but rather they would choose the best 13 or 14 songs. He would reveal in his book, we had managed to pull together 36 songs, and after playing all of them for Mike, we decided to record the lot and then pick out the best 13 or 14. I remember liking several of them, especially killer tracks like You Could Be Mine, Dust and Bones, and Pretty Tied Up. Then there were tracks like Coma, which I didn't get at all. I mean a 10-minute rock song? But Axl just said, look, Queen did it, the Stones did it, we can do whatever the F we want. Let's push it, let's go as epic as we can. Let's not make the same record again. Axl wanted to take the band to a stadium level, and he knew that with epic songs, epic videos, and larger-than-life imagery, we could do that. In addition to releasing the song on the Use Your Illusion 1 record, a live version of the song could also be found on their 1999 release Live Era as a bonus track. Since the reunion of Axl Rose, Slash, and Duff McKagan in 2016 as part of the Not in This Lifetime tour, Coma has become a regular part of the group's setlist. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on Rock and Roll True Stories. Take care.